Hi, Mike.
Hello, how are you doing?
All good, all good. Nice to meet you here. How are you? Are you tired after the conference?
No, not at all, actually. I think it's a good place to be, so I'm not tired, and I like the weather, I like the heat.
A lot of talk right now in the crypto space about the intents and about the solvers, resolvers, all these models, and most of them they have a huge problem. This is lack of liquidity, and I know that you're trying to solve it. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you're planning to launch soon?
Yeah, sure. So we are building Liquorice. It's basically aggregator of market makers for the solvers. So what we do, we provide solvers with the opportunity to tap into the quotes from different market makers, and also we provide liquidity that market makers can use to settle the trade. So basically, this liquidity is settled in our pools.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this? For example, how many networks you're planning to cover?
Yeah, so from the version 1, we are covering only a few networks, like Ethereum, like Arbitrum and Base.
The first version, it will be isolate system, so I can make on-chain orders, and the liquidity will be automatically rebalanced using some kind of formula, which will increase the percentage of fee, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we are actually doing a little bit different than other protocols doing. So we are applying the funding rate, which is basically the cost of money in crypto. The more you utilize the pool, the higher there will be premium to the funding rate. So for the market makers, it makes sense because it's kind of creates predictability of the cost of the borrowing. And for the LP providers, it also makes sense because there is no such fluctuations like you have on Aave, for example, when you deploy stable coins, and your yield can vary from 3% to 15% and go back and forth depending on the utilization.
Can you share with me a little bit more details how you're planning to create an APY?
So basically, you as a market maker, there is a flow that is coming from Cow, for example, or 1inch Fusion, and you as a market maker can have an option to use your own funds, right, to deliver the trade, so settle the trade, or you can tap into our pools and use the liquidity that we have in the pools. If you don't have large inventory outside of stable coins and Ethereum, then you can borrow the coins that you don't have on hand. So it's kind of creates the variety of the assets you can trade actually as a market maker.
How many assets are you planning to cover?
Well, that's a good question, because on the first version, it's gonna be the most popular assets like blue chips like Ethereum, wrapped Bitcoin, some derivatives of the staked Ethereum, and stable coins, of course. And on the second iteration, it's gonna be less liquid coins, more or less from 10, 20 top ERC20 coins.
Nice. Do you use any kind of AI tools, or maybe you're planning to use it?
Right now, I don't see any need for AI at this moment. So I would say that there is, of course, possibility we can do some kind of machine learning or something that we can create with the models. But at this point, I think it's something that solvers can do on their side with the market makers. So I think it's kind of their job to do this.
For example, if our solver want to join you, can you tell me a little bit more? So do I need to have any kind of collateral for this?
Well, if you're a solver and you're just using liquidity that we're having in the protocol, you don't need to have any collateral. You're just requesting the quotes, and if the quote is winning the auction, for example, on a cow swap, then it becomes the part of winning solution. So you don't need to do anything because you're actually just doing a solving thing. So if you want to commit your own capital, then of course you have to provide some collateral, and then you can borrow against this collateral on the pool. But anyways, it's like an under-collateralized borrowing, so it's a capital efficient thing.
Does it mean that my borrow can be only inside the one transaction, so it can be only atomic swap, or I can borrow for some time period?
You can actually borrow for a prolonged period, so it doesn't mean to be atomic. So you can borrow and return the borrow in few minutes, few hours, few weeks, or even few months. So it depends on you. You just pay the fee for usage of the fund.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this? For example, if I want to borrow something let's say, I want to borrow ETH for 1 month, I need to guarantee that I will return it. How is that mechanism will work?
Yeah, so everything is locked in the smart contract. So when you borrow something, the smart contract is actually integrated with the trading engine of the Cow and Fusion and Uniswap X. So that means that every time you make a borrow, you're actually serving a trade, right? Because there is a trade coming from one of these intent platforms. So when you make a borrow, you deliver tokens to the buyer, and the tokens from the buyer are getting back to the pool. So basically they are serving as a collateral against the tokens that you deliver to the trader. But at the same time, you can trade back and forth these collateral, so it's like completely free within this intent-based platforms.
So that means it's not a collateral system, it's more like escrow system. So I use assets from the user as a collateral in escrow.
Yeah, you use the assets from the user as the collateral for the position that they actually took. But you can rebalance as a solver or as a market maker, you can rebalance back and forth, and that creates a lot of flexibility. For example, I have 100,000 of stable coins, so I can put it in the pool, in the Liquorice pool, and you can actually sell $1 million of USDT against like $1 million of USDC. So what will happen in the end? You have a collateral, 100K, but you have a credit line of 1 million that you can trade back and forth within the crap coins, like staked Ethereum and any other asset.
So that means you will have a leverage.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and what's the maximum leverage?
yeah, at this point, it's 5x. So basically, you have to deploy 20%. But in the future versions, it's gonna be more. It's gonna be like 10x maximum on the blue chips.
That's exciting project.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you.